Hi, and welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
It's dark outside.
It's dark outside.
Because we're recording. I guess when I was little, there's a story. I would get up early in the morning and say, it's dark outside.
No, you'd say it's not dark outside.
It's not dark outside?
Mom would tell you to go to sleep because it was dark outside. So you'd get up at like 5:30 in the morning. And
as soon as the sun peeked out.
It's not dark outside anymore.
So, we are recording tonight because we got a busy Saturday tomorrow. So it's Friday night and we're recording. And I think Beth is gonna go first.
Yeah. So the only thing I've really done this week is ouch! I just poked myself with a needle. And I just knocked it off here also. I don't know where I went.
Remember what I said about losing needles?
Right there.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Do I need to move the gnome? Can you be seen?
Oh,
We can move the gnome.
stab myself with that.
Look, she's actually...
Embroidery needles are not supposed to be sharp.
They're
but I
sharp.
always stab myself.
They are
Sure.
sharp.
Yes.
They're
Well,
just
you know,
not
I
as
noticed
sharp.
that like when I'm like hand sewing something, you know, either sewing a button or bead on or making a pillow or whatever, I poke myself a lot with the sewing needle because I'm not used to it being so sharp. Anyway, this is what I've been doing all week. Today is actually the 7th day, which is my goal. So if I can stitch a little more tonight, that'll be the end of that. But I finished his tail. I was working on his tail feathers last week, and that's why I started with this one because I had a thread hanging on there that I stopped in mid-stitch or whatever. But I did do another tree over here, just because there's a few stitches on the end of this branch. There's like 3 stitches here and 3 stitches there, whatever, that are this color of this tree here. So after I did those little individual stitches, I went ahead and did this tree, and then I worked on this yellowish orangish color that's in his wings, and then I filled in this light brown color on this side. I still haven't done the wing on this side, just because, you know, I didn't do it. But so yeah, so it's about halfway done. So I might do a little bit more now today, and then tonight maybe a little bit more, and that'll be the end of that. 7 days. So I did spend a little bit of time finding fabrics and threads for. Oh, and this is the pattern of that. It's Cottage Garden Samplings. I can't speak. Year in the Woods. The Bald Eagle was this one, which is one of my WIP-GOs. The other WIP-GO main call is The Bear, which is another Cottage Garden Samplings. And I haven't gotten to that one yet, but that will be my my other WIP-GO. But I think I'm going to do one of my new starts this weekend, starting on tomorrow.
We're going to be trapped in our room again?
Yeah. So I did go and pick fabrics for my 2 new starts. And so for one of them is Quirky Christmas. I'm doing the one called Nicholas, which is basically a Santa in here. And it's like 58 by 70, something like that. So what I found was amongst my scraps or whatever, I had this big piece of 28 count linen, and it's a little bit of a loose weave, but it's the same fabric that I used for the, what do you call it? Nativity, Starry Night series. So it's the same kind of fabric. This is just another piece that I used some of it for something. But I think all or most of the Quirky Christmas patterns will fit on here. And this is just a common, like DMC brand fabric that I think I got it at Joann's. So I can probably, well, I don't know, Joann's is supposedly going out of business. Maybe I could get it at Michael's, I don't know. But hopefully will be able to get more of this fabric if I need it. But I might be able to put all 9 of them on this piece of fabric. So I did spend some time looking for threads for them, and I was, finding several of them, but some of them I was not. So I was looking in my Thread Stash app, on the thread tracker, to see what other projects these threads were in. And I think I probably have them all. They're in my other Cottage Garden Samplings patterns. So I probably have them all, it's just somewhere in my stash. And if not, I don't know, I could run to Hobby Lobby if I have to. But the other new start is this, and both of these are Twin Peak primitives, oddly enough. But so this one is a little freebie called Snow Angel, and it looks really big on here, but it's really not that big. It's like, I just looked at the size here. It's 72 by 75, so it's not really that big. It's not as big as it looks here. But I have this, I just dropped one. I didn't realize I had 2 of them. This little piece of, it's 30 count fabric that I got at the attic. They had this particular day that I went, they had just little scraps like this. So I think this little Snow Angel pattern will look good on here. On this little digital rendering, they have it on with a blue background, but it's, of course it's mostly white and all that. So I was, when I was getting the threads for this, I was, sort of doing a floss toss to see how they looked against this fabric, and they look pretty good. So I think, and this piece is just big enough for the pattern. So I think it'll look nice on that.
Tyler, do you have a pair of scissors?
I didn't take.
I do.
Yeah, I have.
Mine are way over there in my chair.
That reminds.
We forgot to mention Jean.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got this at the attic, and the day I went, they had scraps of it. But as many of you have heard by now, Jean, who was the owner of the attic, passed away. I want to say this past week. Not long ago anyway.
Recently.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And whenever you'd see her, she was always smiling.
Wow.
So
You said she'd been battling cancer for a while?
yeah, she'd been
yeah.
fighting it off and on, and so yeah.
It's a shame.
But anyway, so yeah, I guess they were like remnants left over from other pieces, and I don't know. So I don't know who dyed it or whatever, So, and I dropped this other piece.
The cat will get it for you.
Yeah,
We'll get it.
I don't want to stick.
Oh, remind me about a story about Beth dropping things.
Oh.
If I could see it, I'd get it, but I can't.
It's under my foot here.
Oh, here, I get
I
it.
just don't want
I
to.
get it. I'm putting my foot on it. Making it dirty on my floor. The floor's not clean. Clean enough for fancy fabric.
No.
There you are.
Thank you.
Okay,
And that's me. That's it.
that's it.
I'm getting this out
Oh,
so I
okay,
can remember
good.
to tell that story.
Okay. I'm going to go next. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the big news for the week is that I finished Hannah's sweater. Oh, I didn't bring the yarn out. I'll take a picture of it. The ball of yarn that this... Okay, so here I finished the sweater. This is the front. This is...
So beautiful.
I'll put the name of the sweater at the bottom and the designer, because I can't remember it now. My iPad's across the room, but this is the pattern. This is unblocked. It has not been blocked yet, and it has this broken rib on the side under the arm. And then this is the back. So you can really see the gradient in the back. I put the cuffs on the sleeve. I didn't make the sleeves the way the pattern said. I consulted with Hannah for two reasons. If you remember, this was a gradient yarn. It was a ball of yarn that I found in Albuquerque. Fell in love with it. Tried to find a pattern that used that much yarn or less. I had a vision of doing I always make these for Hannah in the summer. Beginning of summer, I call it the emergency sweater. And because she goes to it always happens this way. She goes to a music festival, and I'm like, she needs a new item of clothing. And I usually make like a summer, either like a sleeveless top or a vest or something that's like from a summer type of yarn, like cotton or cotton blend. And I always call it the emergency sweater because I drop everything in my life and I make this sweater for a short amount of time and I send it to her at her festivals. This is kind of in the last few years. But so when I found this yarn, I'm like, I wanted to make a small top like that, and she looks so nice in them. And so I found this pattern, and you could make a long sleeve or a short sleeve. And knowing that it was gradient, I thought if I made a long sleeve, there's no way that I could match the gradient on both sleeves simultaneously, right? Because I would use the yarn, which would grade from this color to dark, and then I'd be already dark and I'd have to join it here. So that was not going to work. So then I was like, well, I'll make short sleeve. So in the pattern, you're supposed to do the sleeves first and then pick up the neck. But I knew that I wanted to use so I ordered a second ball of yarn, and I found one in the same dye lot by a miracle. When I ordered it, I was like, if you have this dye lot, ? And they did, and it was amazing. So Scissors? Thank you. So with the second ball of yarn, so I knit this all the way to the end of the first ball, and I added this cuff. And I ran out of yarn, probably, I was in the bind off, and I probably had like this much left. I could probably find it. So I had to add the dark end of the new ball to finish binding off the bottom. So it was basically perfect. And then I took the light end of the new ball and I picked up the stitches for the collar, because this is where I started the sweater, and so I used the white end of the ball to make this little ribbing at the top. And then I started winding off yarn on the ball until I found something. What I was hoping was the same color area of the ends of the sleeves. My dilemma was the pattern said to do like 6 more rows of this patterning. It's knit and pearls and those diamonds. To do 6 more rows of it and then put the cuff on. And I had found the place in the ball where that color stopped, and I mean where I thought the color started, and I kept putting the yarn up against the end, like is that it? And when I found it, I was like, if I do 6 rows plus a cuff plus a bind off, and then try to join it to the other one, I'm afraid I'll be too far into the darker, too far into like this coloring. And then this cuff join is going to be really pronounced. So then I was like, I can't do that. And then when I picked up the sleeve stitches, because I had these on like a thread, I picked them up and I was like, oh, maybe I will do the rest of the pattern. But when I don't remember which sleeve I started with, but when I got there, the patterning, it made sense in the charts, but when I got here, I'm like, for some reason it seemed backwards, and I was like, I don't know why I can't figure out where to start the pattern. And I'm like, you know what? No, I am just going to do the cuff. And I talked to Hannah about it because I was afraid of using too much yarn. And I'm like, it's just going to be a little cap sleeve. So the cuff basically starts right in the armpit. But she likes short sleeve things. She likes sleeveless. So I think this will be quite nice on her. And so I was really stressing that night. And actually it's weird. Touching this makes me think of the movie I was watching. Anyway, I was really stressing that it wouldn't match, but I think I did. So here's the break in the balls of yarn. And they both look the same color. So I think I did a good job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless somebody was sitting there examining.
Well,
it,
I know, but you could really see.
Yeah.
But you don't want to mark a line.
Right.
Yeah.
You could really see if this was a different color. You know, like if it was even if it was like that, you would really see the difference. Yeah. So it worked out really, really well.
The picture I saw, I'm like, oh, it looks fantastic.
It worked out really well. I'm gonna block it now. The back of the neck does this weird thing, and it always kind of on all the sweaters I've ever made does that. How it bends backwards. But I think with some blocking and once it's on, you won't notice that. And it looks like a baby sweater, I know. But you'll see a picture of it here on the Hannequin, as I call it, and on the Hannequin it's completely normal sized. You can see. It just needs to be blocked and worn. So anyway, that is that. So this is ready to go. I need to pause because I need to get another project. One moment. Okay, so I'm back. I had to get a project out of my work stuff. So I finished this sweater. I finished the red beret. I finished the Hoodola hood. And I'm ready to pack up, as soon as I block this, ready to pack up a box and send it to her. However, I realize I'm going to make it spectacular. And I'm also going to finish this. I am almost done. Look at the birdie.
Wow.
Birdie's getting filled up. So I've been working on this. I take this to work with me and do a few stitches at lunchtime and then at night. So I'm trying to go gangbusters on this. It says, I heard a bird sing in dark December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. And I love it so much.
So you have to let the snow and the long stitches?
I have to finish this bird, and then I have to do the snow on the branches, and the back stitch on the pine cone, and then the long stitches for the pine needles. Here's a picture of the finished item. So I don't think it'll take me too long. But because I've been working gangbusters on this and on the sweater, I've neglected my weather snakes. So my weather snakes, this is Pumpkin and this is Bill. Bill from Boston and Pumpkin from Arizona are basically in the exact same state they were last week. But I'm writing. I have all the temperatures. I just have to do it. But yeah, they're in the same place. So I'm working on those. Once I finish the cross stitch, though, I will start back on my aunt's blue sweater. So, project-wise, that is me.
You said, are you going to talk about that yet?
No, that's in stories.
Okay. Okay, so what do I want to start with? Okay, I'll start with the sad thing that I'm doing right now. So, we all know that I can't count.
Hence your new project.
Yeah. So I designed this, the under the sea temperature chart, which, by the way, my friend Vicky is doing beautifully, so much more beautifully than I am. It is gorgeous. And here's a picture of it because she sent it to me and said I could share it.
Congratulations, Vicky. Oh no, I dripped on my papers.
Unfortunately, the temperatures that I picked for the area that she's in, the lowest temperature I put was below 39. It went way below that.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she had to add a color. Yeah. So I went to do February, earlier today. And I looked at it, I have it on my tablet, and I looked at it and went, that looks different than what I stitched in January. And I looked over at January and I went, and I would have just left it, except I want to put a finished picture of the chart on Etsy so that you could see what it actually looks like rather than a computer rendering of it. So that kind of means that it should be right.
Just a little.
Yeah, so remember I had a lot more done on the octopus, but I've already moved the top half of the octopus over. I might just leave this part of it way over here. I'm not sure. Once I fill in stuff, we'll see. But these fish are correct. They are, and notice how hot it's been. They're yellow. It was over 80 the other day.
Gross.
83 or something. Where is it?
Like
86.
Oh, gross.
On February 4th.
That's gross.
It's just not okay. But I'm like, wait a minute. They have their nose, they have the little rear end, and they have their tail, and there's 3 stitches in between. And I look over here, nose, rear end, tail, 2 stitches in between.
Oh, no.
And I went, but why does the octopus? No, it didn't fit. I mean, it was, I counted for the octopus off of where the fish were.
Right.
So, it looked fine until I was like, wait a minute, they're supposed to be under the divider thing. So,
I hate it when that happens.
I've been frogging, which is basically my life. I'm replacing them one at a time. Just I thought it would be easier than frogging the whole thing and doing it again.
And less sad at the same time.
Well, yeah. So my concentration, the project that I picked to concentrate on for the beginning part of February is this is Valentine Day Ornament by Cross Stitching for Fun. And it is charted in a variegated some color of pink, which I'm not really fond of pink. Variegated baby pink, number 48. And I said, I'll use pink fabric and stitch it in black.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
I got a lot further. I did the words 3 times, and not because I couldn't count. I did them first in this black to gray color. And when it got to the light gray, you really couldn't see it at all. And I kind of didn't like it in black. When it was like the dark part.
Yeah.
Oh, happy Valentine's black. Valentine. It's different when it's, the pattern.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I picked a red that I had, a variegated red. I don't know what color it was. I didn't care. And it was like lipstick red on here. And I'm going,
that doesn't go.
no. So I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and I looked at the variegated threads and picked one that I thought would do. And it's just a subdued red and I like it a lot better. However, pink on pink really doesn't work.
I don't know.
So when it was getting light, not when it was light, I mean, not when it was like just barely getting light, but when it was starting to get really light. I cut the thread and started again where it was dark. So I have 3 lengths of very pinky light thread. And oddly enough, they're almost exactly the same length. But I like that it's more like a browner red. I think it works better.
It looks good on the fabric.
Yeah. That lipstick red, I was like,
Something bled on my paper.
I'm like, I really don't care for that. And I was trying to just really go after this. I was planning to work some more on this and get it almost done or done. But now I'm frogging fish. But that's okay. I mean, this is important, so. And I've been trying to catch up on projects. I thought if I fully finished the sides of this is my gingerbread house. So with the middle, it would be about like that, like square. Okay. I'm not going to take a picture of it, but I'll take a picture of this.
I didn't realize how small it was because when I saw, the finished ones, you had basically a piece of fabric about this size.
I cut it down quite a bit. She said, these big pieces, and I went ahead and did it, and I was like, why do I have a piece of fabric this big? But
I mean, I didn't realize the sides were that small.
Yeah. The fronts are just like, front and back are about that much high, and then of course you have the roof.
So cute.
So that'll, I hope, put a fire in my rear end to get the other pieces cut so that I can do them. And then I had planned to do 100 stitches a month on, that's actually basically nothing compared to how many stitches are in here. But this is Heaven Earth Designs Mini Snowman Snuggles. Why can't I remember the name of it? I just call it Snowman. And I haven't done 100. I didn't do 100 last month. But I've done enough more that, are you going to be able to tell? No, but I can.
Easy. Oh, well, yeah.
So, and I even frogged something I didn't like. If it's DMC, even on this, I'm willing to go there and back, right? If there's a whole bunch. And it was just 2 together, and I did it. And apparently I went over 2. And I'm like, I could leave it. No. I could leave it. No. So I actually was doing that right before we came here. So, because I had to put this away because it was making me mad. And then I have 2 things of haul. You can't go to Hobby Lobby and buy a thread unless you have cash, and I didn't. So
you can theoretically, but who wants to do that?
So I got this. It's 14 count Yorkshire. I'm sure one of my new starts will like it, and it's the grayer one. And I thought, yeah, a new piece of fabric never goes astray. So I got that. And then I was watching, it was her first Flosstube, and I believe her Flosstube channel is Seashore Stitcher.
Is her name Sally?
I don't think so. Anyway, she likes ocean stuff too. And then she's like, and I like to use all this bling, and she was talking about.
So she's your spirit animal, basically.
So she was saying how she really likes Rollis charts, and I was like, I've never heard of these things.
Oh, Rollis, yeah.
Yeah. So I went on Amazon because that's one of the people that distributes them here. and I bought this little hedgehog. He's so cute. He's so cute. He's got little tootsies. See little tootsies.
See his little feetsies. Oh my
Remember how we were
God.
saying I was drawn to cute things?
Yes. You always
And
find the cutest thing.
I want to start it. I know all of them are cute.
This boy here, this little birdie, this little boy, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I don't mean to sound like an idiot, but that's gorgeous.
And at first I saw a koala that I really liked.
Oh yeah.
But then I saw this one and I said, well, I wouldn't have to dye any fabric to do this one. Because the koala comes with white fabric. And I was like, I know it's bright, sunny, and
So that's a whole kit.
Australia, but yeah. And they use it's a wool cotton blend for their yarns. I mean, their
Oh.
threads. So,
Nice. That should be different.
yeah. And I wanted to rip it open and start it right away. I've said, okay, this will be we get to move to a new house start.
Okay.
But that's what I thought. And now I'm like, maybe it'll be, I'm done frogging this pattern.
You get started on Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday is just another day.
No, it's fun. Football is fun.
Yeah, Robert has been trying to convince me of that, and I shall not be convinced. I used to tell him football is not allowed on my TV.
Oh no.
I was watching some.
That's no fun.
I guess some news report or something this morning, I guess, or something. I don't know how I came across it. I was looking for something on YouTube, and it was some like live news thing. But they were like all gushing over New Orleans, and they were asking this guy, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, what are they talking? Oh yeah, the Super Bowl.
I do like how happy people get talking about it. I remember when they wasn't the Super Bowl here?
Mm-hmm.
Robert was on a swim team, and there was a swim meet that weekend, and somebody brought their little TV, and we were all just kind of watching because it was here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I have.
That's all? Well, that's a good segue into our question of the week. So, question of the week last week was, what are you drawn to in terms of stitching? We had a lot of great engagement. People really varied likes, and there's a long dog sampler out there wondering if it will ever be finished. You are my spirit animal. And so read last week's comments. There's a lot of really good things in there.
When I was at the vet the other day, and they had in that particular room they had a chart with all the different dog breeds, and I was like, what did they say the long dogs were? I was like, could it be this kind or that kind?
But our question to you this week has to do with Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl, yes or no, is the first question.
We realize
For me, it's a yes. For
we
them,
realize
it's
that
a
this
no.
is coming out the day of.
Yeah, this will be
But-
coming out on Super Bowl Sunday. So, Super Bowl, yes or no? And if it's yes, Eagles or Chiefs, again, they're back again. But, and I will share that I've been a Chiefs fan for a long time, but this year I really want the Eagles to win. I don't know. I just got such
Where
a
are
good
the Eagles
vibe.
from?
Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I was asking myself, I was like, where are they from?
Yeah. So I don't know. I got a really good vibe from them the last playoff game that they played. And they're doing those funny dances in the end zone, and they just played really hard,
I
really
always
well.
laugh when, I used to watch like Hogan's Heroes when I was a kid, and they would always ask questions like if they would, to see if somebody was an American or not, they'd ask them like, who won the World Series last year or something like that. Like, they asked me, I wouldn't. They think I was this German spy.
So I'm a yes, they're a no. I'm for the Eagles. And we're just wondering, do you all watch? Do you have parties? Do you not care at all?
I like the fact that everything's on sale at the grocery store.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
All the party foods
Soda
and-
was buy two get three free yesterday, so I took advantage of that.
Yeah,
even
we
though I'm not
partook
having
of that.
I'm not having a Super Bowl party. I was like,
Well, Hobby Lobby had a sign that said, "Welcome to my snack and commercial party."
yeah, yeah.
Oh, when you posted that, why would they say
What is she
commercial?
talking about?
It's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, because
yeah.
that is also fun watching Super Bowl commercials. Companies go all out for their Super Bowl commercial
Yeah.
time. But
I think there's
So-
supposed to be one. Isn't there supposed to be one with the Budweiser horses? Like this one little colt is his first
oh, I don't know.
first time. Something like
Oh,
that.
how
I
fun.
read something.
No, I
about
haven't.
that.
I haven't seen that.
So commercials are so different from when we were kids. As you were talking about the Budweiser commercial, I was thinking, when I was a child, Coors had a commercial that had a bear, and it would say, "From the land of sky blue waters."
Oh yeah,
Was it
And
Coors?
I-
yeah,
yeah.
It was Coors. And I would run into the room to watch it on the TV because I liked it, And I'm glad they don't do that anymore because it was bad.
Well, how about the camel, the smoking camel? Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
and Marlboro Man.
But what we've noticed, like we've been watching the food that made America. We watch it. It's on Hulu, but it's originally a History Channel show, and so a lot of times when they're talking about the history of these foods of these companies, they show the old commercials, and Mark's like loving that and singing along to all the jingles. And then right now we're going through the toys that made America, and he's singing all the jingles, and he was like, they don't have jingles like that as much anymore, like the pepper, the Dr. Pepper song.
I mean, seriously, I can still say 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Okay.
I know.
I could sing the song too, but I'm not gonna.
They are trying to use the Burger King one, but it's all weird. The guy's like singing it, but singing the wrong.
Burger
weird
King
words.
commercials were always, to me, I'm like, I think you should fire your because I remember one. Okay, I was a McDonald's employee, and that a long time ago. That is not why I'm saying this, but I think McDonald's has the best breakfast of all the fast food places.
True, I agree.
So,
Well,
Burger
Chick-fil-A
King.
breakfast is pretty good.
What?
Chick-fil-A breakfast is pretty good.
Chick-fil-A is really good, but you get the hotcakes at McDonald's and
Yeah.
you can't beat it. Anyway, I even like those better than IHOP's pancakes. Anyway, they were doing a commercial about how they had an Egg McMuffin, right? And they had that ridiculous king.
Oh, gross!
Okay.
With that big old head.
Yeah, that's creepy. If I was a child, I would be terrified. And he's sneaking into McDonald's office and stealing the recipe for an Egg McMuffin.
That's bad.
And I'm like, you need a recipe to see how they make an English muffin, a slice of ham, an egg, and a piece of cheese.
Well, not only that, but
But if you're stealing it, then you know it's
I was
better
gonna
than
say,
what it is.
you're
And I was just
admitting
like-
that you have to.
And honestly, there's Burger King used to have these little cinnamonies, I think they called them.
Oh yeah.
That those were okay. And for a while, I think they had dipping French toast sticks. But
Yeah.
other than that, their breakfast was awful.
Insta Burger King.
My husband just popped in and said, because we learned from the show that they used to be called Insta Burger King. So that's what he calls it now. Insta Burger King.
So
So be careful what you say, because obviously he's listening.
okay, I'm old enough to remember all of those. You know, Wendy's had a breakfast for a while, and it was, I never wanted it. It was awful. And then they stopped serving breakfast, I want to say for 6 months. And then they started again, and their breakfast thing was good. Have you had their they have biscuits and gravy?
Oh, no.
And it's good. I used to buy it for Dad. It was really, it tastes like,
Wow.
it doesn't taste like biscuits at
At a restaurant.
there's a restaurant named Biscuits here. But it was good.
Oh.
And they've got some decent, sorry.
So to segue into stories and talking about fast food, tonight, because I knew you guys were coming over, and I was like, oh, I want to have dinner, and I really like a pollo loco, because I can just eat chicken. It's not breaded. Yeah, the pollo, obviously pollo, chicken, the crazy chicken. They make rotisserie chicken, and you can get it like kind of like Kentucky Fried, but it's not fried chicken. It's rotisserie, and it's skin on, which is really good. I know it's not good for you, but it's really good, and it's not breaded, so it's really good for me, in that way. So I really like eating there, and the guys get these. They have these classic chicken burritos, which are just chicken, beans, rice, and cheese, and they're actually really inexpensive. So it's one of our favorite places. So I go there, and when you buy the piece chicken meals, you can get 2 sides, and they have like pinto beans and Spanish rice, and I can't think of all the sides, but one of the sides they have is steamed broccoli, and they also have a little side salad, which is just lettuce and a few corn strips, and then this really good kind of avocado-y dressing. It's not really a salad, it's just a little bowl of lettuce, but it tastes good. So so when I buy the chicken, I get the steamed broccoli and the side salad, because beans are okay, but they're problematic, and then of course I can't have rice. So, and then they have a few other things, I can't remember what they are. So I go to, and I never have had a problem ever, and I love this particular location that I go to. But I go up to the thing, and he's like, what 2 sides do you want? And I said, I'd like steamed broccoli and a side salad. And so he goes, okay, beans and a side salad. I said, no, I'd like steamed broccoli and a side salad. And he goes, okay, so you would like pinto beans and a broccoli. I said, no, so then I realized maybe steamed is throwing him off. So I said, I'd like broccoli and a side salad. And he goes, okay, so you want pinto beans and a side salad.
Were they out of broccoli or
and
what?
I said, no, I actually would like, and I was trying to be really nice. I wasn't getting mad. I was just like, I have confused this poor child. And I said, I would like actually broccoli and a side salad. And he goes, we don't have broccoli.
That's why he was trying to steer you toward
No.
names.
And I said, there's broccoli on your menu. And there was silence. I wasn't getting mad. I was very calm. And I was kind of laughing because I realized how we had once we got down that, twisted down this place, he could no longer think. Because you know when you have confused yourself so much, your brain just, so there's silence. And he goes, oh, my bad. Okay, so you want broccoli. And I think he even said, and maybe that was when he got it right. He's like, okay, broccoli and a side salad. He's like, okay. And I was just kind of chuckling. So I get up to the window and he goes, when you said steamed broccoli, I thought you said beans. I said, I know, it's okay. It's okay. It was so funny.
Well, that's kind of like when you go to, and it's happened to me more than once, when you go to, who is it that has the Whoppers?
Burger King.
Burger King. Is it still Burger King? they used to call it back. I am so glad they don't do that now. They're more likely to make it right. But you have to get them to say it right in order for it to be put into the computer right. And so many times you're like, and I remember one time I said that I wanted no ketchup and I'd like mustard instead, but I said, don't drown it in mustard. I just want 1 squirt of mustard. You know, a little mustard goes a long way. He goes, we can't do light mustard. I'll just give you mustard packets. I'm just like, you can't put mustard on there for me? Yeah, but we can't do light mustard. If you want a special amount of mustard, then you're just going to have to put it on yourself. I said, I don't want to put it on myself because I'm driving. I arrive up to the window. Mustard packets in my bag. Yeah. So, and that was just one example.
No, but I felt bad for him because I totally flummoxed the poor child. Steamed broccoli. Oh my gosh.
Well, one time we went to, what was that place? We were talking about how they like didn't have a good flow in their, when you go to pick up your food, you have to walk like through, anyway.
Panera?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, it was Panera.
Yeah.
And we had gone through the drive-thru, and whatever I had ordered, I guess it was, the 2 buttons were next to each other or something, and the person, I guess, hit the wrong thing. But so when we went to pick up our order, we were still in the drive-thru, or had just come out of it or something, and I was looking at my order, and the like it was the sandwich or whatever I had ordered was wrong. And so he pulled around, and I went inside.
It wasn't like it was made wrong. It was entirely the
Yeah,
wrong
it was
sandwich.
completely wrong thing. And so I went inside, and they have like a counter where you could order.
Yeah.
And I guess they have kiosks or something. I think
Yeah.
you could put your order in yourself. And then they have like a seating area, and then and then you have to walk back, and there's, I guess, the window where you pick it up, and then beyond that is where the drinks were or something. But anyway, so I'm standing there at the counter because I don't think I'd ever been inside, at least not since they, I guess, revamped it, because I think I'd only been in one anyway. But I went in there, and there was nobody at the front counter, and I was standing there, like, okay, it's, just kind of expecting somebody to eventually walk up and see what was going on, and I could see somebody, this person was walking in the back, like behind, not, like there was a doorway there, and they were walking back there. And this girl looked at me and just kept walking. And I thought, well, maybe she's going to tell somebody that there's a customer waiting. And I was standing there holding the bag, so it wasn't like I was, waiting to order or whatever. But I'm standing there and waiting, and she's walking back and forth, and nobody's coming to the counter. And this other man walked in, and he's looking at the menu and to order or something, and he was standing there. There's nobody waiting on him, and so I don't know. But it's like I was about to okay, when do I start yelling for somebody to come up? And then just as I was about to say hello, somebody came up, and this lady helped me. But
when that would happen to Jan and I in any restaurant, not Panera necessarily. I don't think I've ever had it happen to me in Panera. But where you're standing at the counter, whether you're wanting to order or bringing up a problem, you're standing at the counter. You're standing there for a reason, right? And somebody goes this way, and then they go this way, and then they go this way. Jan and I had a name for that. I'm too fat to be invisible. Because stop trying to pretend you don't see me.
You just don't want to deal.
It's because it isn't their job. It's somebody else's job.
When you were talking about Pollo Loco, that was reminded me of that story that I told. But there was I don't know how to say it, a ritual for a group I was in, where the name Apollo was in this, was part of what we were saying. And there was a girl in that group who was Hispanic, like me. But when she looked at it, the word pollo, which is Spanish for chicken, is spelled Pollo. Apollo, the Greek god, is spelled Apollo. And this girl, I guess it was the first, well, I don't know, I guess the first time she was reading the ritual thing, whatever. But she was, and the word Apollo was in it, and we all had this little books. And she said something about apoyo. I was like, wrong culture.
It makes it sound like she was part of some cult. It was a college sorority.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fraternity for women. So don't freak out.
Yeah.
It was just college.
But I was like, okay.
And we were holding these books, and we were reading about Greek gods. No.
Yeah, not Spanish, but Greek. Yes. So, it was an important distinction.
I pronounced
because it was a formal thing. I was like trying not to laugh out loud.
I pronounced Karine de Milano. Anyway, I pronounced it Miliano.
Like the judge?
What?
Like the judge?
No.
Oh.
4, 5, 6.
And the teacher corrected me, and I'm like, actually, that's a Spanish word. They have them named with Spanish names, and just because you don't say it that way doesn't mean that's the proper way to say it.
I remember that there was in Albuquerque, a lot of the street names are Hispanic. Like Candelaria is one of the streets, and most people say Candelaria or whatever. And as a matter of fact, I also had a high school friend who there was Montano was one of the street names and also one of the schools. And so when it's written Montano, the last N in there has a little tilde on it, right? But you say it like, N-Y, and Montano.
Has an N-Y.
Yeah. And she used to always say Montano.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not right. And then, there's also a street called Juan Tabo. And that's actually, I guess, Juan Tabo.
Juan Tabo.
Yeah.
That's how Mom said it.
Yeah. And so you could either sort of like anglicize it or say it properly in Spanish or whatever. But there was a guy, a newscaster in town who'd been there since I was a kid. He'd been there forever. And his name was Dick Niffing. So he wasn't Hispanic. But he had been there so long that he said everything properly.
Yeah.
Which was really great. It was kind of.
I remember him.
Yeah.
And then you'd go to the town of Madrid in New Mexico.
And everyone called it Madrid.
And they'd correct you if you said it that it's Madrid. Actually, no, it's not.
What always cracked me up was like when sometimes it would be somebody on the national news. And sometimes it would be like a newcomer newscaster or somebody, but like there's a town in New Mexico called Raton, which is like means big rat, right? Raton.
No, big rat is boca, or big rat's mouth.
Yeah, that's a rat's mouth. But so Raton is a town in New Mexico, and I remember one time I heard a newscaster say "ratten" or something like that. I was like, yeah, but like. At one point, there was a guy whose last name was Gallego, which is Gallego, and Gallegos, with an S in the end. And so, but he was this person. I don't remember if it was in New Mexico or if he was just somebody in the country. But they were talking about him like on the national news, and they said Gallego.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't fault people for not being able to pronounce things, but because
usually though,
I
like
can't say French words, and I can't say.
I know, but usually, like if somebody's reading the news or whatever, it has a pronunciation thing in there, so that they say it right.
Maybe, but
yeah.
Also like it's not hard to find out.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well, it's funny. There was a street in Little Rock that I always wanted to call it Cantrell, but it's pronounced Cantrell. And there's a town called El Dorado, and they always say El Dorado.
Right.
You know, so it's like,
So they think you're wrong.
Yeah.
But, well, and it's funny. What I like are the colloquialisms. Like here in Phoenix, there's a street that is spelled Germann, but it is pronounced by everyone Germain. It's not pronounced German. It has two N's for no reason. And I don't know if it was someone's name. I should look it up.
I refuse to pronounce it Germain. There's no I in that
But
word.
no one is going to know what you're talking about.
I don't care.
And also, the funniest one is there is an avenue named Arizona, but everyone
There's
in town,
lots of avenues.
I know there is an avenue named Arizona,
Right.
and locals call it Arizona Ave. You don't say Arizona, and you don't say Arizona Avenue. You say Arizona Ave. Like that is how you say it. Well, and that's like the town of Prescott, which is spelled Prescott, Cott, but it's Prescott.
what I like about Arizona is that there's all these little towns called, you know, Dead Man something or other, or Skunk something or other, or something. You know?
There was I took a screenshot once of the map up in Carefree area. On one side, it's like something happy, and the other side, it's like Dead Man Wash or something. Like, only in Arizona. I can't remember. I should look it up. But yeah, you know, there's like the what is it? There's Dead Man's Wash on the way to Flagstaff, and like all kinds of weird.
Yeah, I always picture like, you know, in the old pioneer days or something where, you know, everything was
Well,
all...
turn there where they found that dead guy.
Yeah. Over
left.
here with a skunk something or other.
Well, that's the way the bus stops were in Corrales, you remember? The bus stop is at the tree by the fence. I saw the list of bus stops and I was like, do people actually know where that is? And I guess they did.
But in very rural areas,
Yeah.
that's how they do it.
Yeah.
We're just not used to that.
Yeah.
But
Should ask Vicky.
Yeah.
She was in there.
oh gosh.
Yeah, so
Well,
It's late.
It's late, and they really just came over to get their light fixed. My husband fixed their
we were
the
so
low
happy.
headlight on their
We got a quote for
on their van.
$86. Mark did it for 2 cheeseburgers.
Mark's like, his was like, I'll fix your light for 2 cheese, because he knew we were going to McDonald's, so that they were going to McDonald's, and he's like, well, I'll change the light for 2 cheeseburgers. He gave Eli one, so. So they were out there with the flashlight and got
Yeah.
it all fixed up for you, so now you
And I know we have a question of the week, but I also want to know, if you're doing the 25 and 25, do you have to take one off if you do a different one, you know? Because what happens if I do 27 and 25?
Yeah, there was something I
you
was
skip
thinking
ahead
of-
2 years, you get older.
Yeah, there was something I was going to do.
Time travel.
Yeah, because
I want to start the hedgehog.
Just
and there's
do it.
another one I want to start.
Just start it.
there was something I was thinking about starting. Oh, that under the sea little kit that I bought.
Oh.
But I was like, but if I
Under
start that, it'll be
the
26
Under
instead of
the
25.
You guys are crazy. Just
Under
do what you
the
want. Be
water.
like me. No rules. No rules. Just do what you want. Do what you want. No, I'm so excited because I was just like, because I distracted myself with that beret, and because I want to finish that sweater, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna do it all, and then I distracted myself with the hood.
Don't forget your Lego.
Oh, so okay, yeah. Last thing I'm gonna talk about. I have the best son in the world, and he bought me a Valentine present, and he gave it to me early. Look what he got me!
So
It's a Lego bamboo. It's the Lucky Bamboos. I have one.
Oh.
See that?
yeah.
Yeah, you have a real one,
I
yeah.
have a real one, and he knows how much I like it, and so he got me this for my early Valentine from my son.
I bought
So
one for my
I'm gonna
mom.
put it together
and
and take it to my
I
office.
bought one for my mom, and it just kept growing and growing and
Yeah.
growing. It was gigantic.
IKEA used to sell them. That's where we got that one, and it's lived a long time. But we are
I want
going
one of
to
those-
go.
one of those cats. And those Lego cats.
Lego cats. Oh, they have so many things. I love their botanicals though. I really get a kick out of them. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank
and
you.
And we will see you again next week. I hope your team wins. Whoever it is. As long as it's mine. Okay. Bye. Okay, we're back real quick. One story. So, how many years ago was it?
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago. When we
'Cause
first
I
got
don't
the kittens.
Yeah.
When we first got
I was house
Calvin and
sitting.
Hobbs, she house sit for us. And so it was probably like 2020, 2021, because we got them in 20. And
I was stitching, of course.
she was stitching here in the dining room, and
I got up to go to the bathroom.
yeah, and lost. She came back. She could not find her thread, could not find it anywhere, and she
I was
told
so
us
afraid
she
the cats had
Yeah, I
eaten
was afraid the cat would, because they were babies, and we didn't know, are they thread eaters? Are they not? You know how some cats are. Some cats aren't. So I was stressed about it. She was stressed about it. We came home. Nobody threw up or had any intestinal problems. So I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, I looked everywhere. And when we got home, we looked everywhere. No thread, no thread, no thread. The other night, Mark walks up to me and he goes, what's this? And he picked up this wad. I've never used this thread in my life, and this must be hers. So,
yeah, and I don't even remember what I was
so
stitching.
somehow they found it under Lord knows where and pulled it out to play with. It reminded me of that episode of Seinfeld when Kramer had been hitting golf balls into the ocean, and then at the end, George, who's pretending to be a marine biologist, he's pretending to be one to impress a girl, and then there's a beached whale. So he was like, he just went and had to deal with it to keep up the facade. And he goes, the whale couldn't breathe because there at his blowhole was the golf ball. It was so funny. It's my favorite scene from Seinfeld. So that's how I felt when I found this. I'm like, look. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.